Big
Effin
Nerds.
Almost forgot to say nerds, but I didn't.
They floated on me, rolled an intro. Big Effin Nerds. Welcome back, nerds.
Right then.
Right then.
Right then, lads.
Welcome back, everyone. I am Michael E.
And I'm Matt.
And this is Big Effin Nerds.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how was your Christmas?
Chrysler was good. It was good.
Yeah?
It was good.
Any surprising gifts that you didn't know you were gonna get?
My sister got me another little one like little snowball mics.
Snowball. Oh, interesting.
one.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe
You use that for your history podcast.
That's what I was thinking when I got it. I was like, I wanted to do that eventually, so maybe that'll be that. We'll see.
You could. I mean,
And it's got like a little bit of a retro kind of like 50s look, like on the silver kind of decal on the front.
nice.
It's pretty classy.
Nice.
I like it. Yeah. What about you?
My surprise gift was a golf bag that I've been wanting. It's a OCP pattern for those that are familiar with that. For those that aren't, look it up.
The Scorpion OCP, like the
Yeah. And
It's a good pattern.
it's a cool bag because it has little areas from like patches. So I went into my old stuff, grabbed my patches and started smacking that on. So I got like a Deadpool one that says, "This is what awesome looks like." Then I have my name tag, of course.
Naturally.
And then there's another one, a dark side one.
Sick.
So it's like join the dark side. And then I have F-bomb.
F-bomb.
Yeah.
Oh,
and then
it's a bomb.
I had the command that I was under
Yeah.
when I was
You always gotta
actually
have your unit patch or whatever.
So
for sure.
I mean, it's pretty nice gift, honestly. I thoroughly enjoyed that one.
Pretty
And
good.
Got to use it on Christmas Eve. So
Oh, you went to the do you play a game or you just go to the driving range or something?
no, we actually did a round and
Sick.
there was like no one on there,
Hell
and
yeah.
everyone that was there was hella chill. So
Yeah, I mean they're all like, dude, I'm just
we're just hanging
getting a
out.
game in before I gotta go with the family. Fucking family.
All right.
Wife and kids.
Smack me up with that fact, Matt. Give me it. Ow! Just put.
It's my show now. This show ain't big enough for the two of us.
Oh Jesus!
Tobias Garrett. I'll come back later.
Oh, I'll be back.
Oh, you ain't seen the last of Matthias Tobias. All right, that's enough bullshit. Let's quit fucking around. All right, so did you know that our President Abraham Lincoln,
Was it Vampire Hunter? Yeah, of course. I watched the movie. I'm not stupid.
yeah, that's it, bro. Fuck.
Fuck the fact.
So anyway, nerdy news. No, he was in the Wrestling Hall of Fame, or is in, not was.
Wait, what?
He's in
Like
the Wrestling
actually
Hall of
like
Fame.
wrestling?
Yeah, he fucking threw down.
Like my kind of wrestling?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know
Really?
about like certain style, but yeah, wrestling.
What?
Wrestling. It says before he took office, he was declared a wrestling champion. You know, we all know he's tall as fuck. He's 6'4". He only had one loss among his 300 contestants.
What?
And, he earned his reputation for this in New Salem, Illinois. I guess it was just those two. New Salem and Illinois. And eventually he earned his county's wrestling championship.
Wow. I did not know.
Can you imagine that, dude?
I want to know what weight class he was in. I want to know if I would have I could have taken him.
He was what?
I would have fucked up, Honest Abe, honestly.
You think so?
Yeah.
He's-
I would have beat his ass.
You think so? That dude's 6'4". I don't know. I mean, 6'4".
Oh, dude, I've wrestled tall people, and they're easy to wrestle.
Yeah, I was like, I mean, height doesn't mean you're like just tougher, but like, can you imagine? But you got that old timey man strength, you know.
True, but like how old? Like, was
Yeah,
he like?
I don't know if
in
they have a-
college doing this, or he was doing like a. I guess they had a.
I guess I don't have a specific year. Just before he took office, I don't know if it was like years before or
Damn.
like a month before.
I'm gonna find an update for you guys on that shit because
Check it out.
I'm literally gonna dig into that because that shit's actually kind of cool. I did not know Abraham Lincoln was a wrestler.
And then
That's kind of cool to think about.
quick second one, also about Lincoln.
Ooh.
He was also a licensed bartender.
And with that kind of ratty hair, I saw his hair. Don't that dude did not.
Just fucking fun or whatever.
I had a licensed one, so that means does that mean he had gone to school for it? Probably,
See,
right?
they have a year for this one. In 1833, he opened up a bar called Berry, just like the berry, the fruit, whatever. And with his friend William F. Berry, guess that's where that came from, in New Salem in Illinois. So same place as he was fucking wrestling champ.
So he's wrestling people and cutting their hair afterwards.
Yeah. Good try, kid. Sit in the chair. The shop, or I guess the bar, was eventually closed when Barry, his partner, an alcoholic, when he consumed almost all the bar's supply. So, thanks, Barry. Piece of shit.
That's why you don't go into business with alcoholics.
That's why they say don't get high on your own supply.
Oh yeah, that is.
That's why they say that.
That is very true.
Because then you could fuck over the 16th president, and you don't want that. fucking.
Oh, yeah, I can only imagine, like, Barry, what the fuck?
Barry, go the fuck to sleep.
God damn it, get over here.
I'm not asking, Barry. Just go the fuck to sleep. Barry's. Shut the fuck up. 4 score in this motherfucker. He's just joking.
Damn.
That's the only Lincoln joke I could think of was 4 score and 7 years
Pretty
ago.
good. It's pretty good. I mean, we could probably think of another one, but pretty dark.
Not live. Oh, well, yeah, we could. We could go that way for sure.
But, all right, so now.
So those were some facts.
Cool little fact. Now let's roll right into where the fuck is my shit?
I don't know.
Where is my shit?
This one.
Where's my shit?
Not that one.
Not that one. My news thing's gone.
Oh, it doesn't say.
Oh, no. Hold on. Time out. All right.
We're back.
Fuck. I fixed it. This is why I wish my fucking recorder was able to switch pages between. But now we're going to roll right into... Yes, sir.
Fucking news.
I'm glad we found that.
Big effing news. So let's see. Do you have any news? Just me.
No, I didn't. I didn't bother looking.
Now just checking. I mean, I only got some shit today. But did you know there's a God of War show coming to Amazon?
Oh, really? Who's Kratos?
We don't have any casting information yet, but Christopher Judge has been lobbying to play him.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah. Which I like. I think he has the look and everything. Here's the only problem. Kratos is covered in ash, right?
Yeah.
You're going to have to make Christopher Judge go straight whiteface. And that's problematic. That's really problematic.
I mean, it depends on who you're talking to, but...
Unless they just say, fuck that, and don't do that. But that's like...
And just keep them...
But for me, I mean, I guess they don't really address it too much in the new games, but that's pretty integral to Kratos'
because in the
story.
Why would they need to address it in the new games? You know, if you're playing the God of War 4 and Ragnarok... I don't know why I said God of War 4, but that's technically what it was. If you're playing those games, you should have played the ones prior in which they explain why he's so white.
Well, hang on. There was God of War Ascension, so maybe it would God of War 5. Even though a lot of people don't like to count Ascension.
I mean, there's Ascension, there's Chains of Olympus, and then there was also Ghost of Sparta.
There's PSP ones, yeah.
So if we're really being technical, it's like God of War 7.
Yeah, I was going to say 8 like an idiot.
It's technically God of War 7, but for the main console games, I mean, they explain it in those games. And if anyone here doesn't know why he's white, it's because it's the ashes of his dead family after he had killed
his wife and daughter that he had killed because Ares tricked him into
doing so.
Yeah, and that's why he did Ares.
And that's when he starts his rampage. It kills the entire Greek pantheon and fucks up the Norse pantheon.
That's when he says, "That fucking does it."
Yeah,
you fucked up.
Yeah. So, but that's kind of cool.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. Amazon's. I have a few shows on Amazon I like. There's season 3 of Jack Ryan that's out. I need to watch that eventually.
Well, I know of Jack Ryan, but there's also The Boys. There's Lord of the Rings.
Still got to watch season 3 of that too, of The Boys.
I was like, season 3 of Lord of the Rings? What the fuck?
2 seasons?
Are you fight? And podcast. Just fucking.
See you next week. Bye. Boop.
Yeah, I mean, you still need to watch that one. That one's I still like the idea of Celebrimbor just being
The
in the
rings
fucking
of power.
and what else? There's a few good Amazon stuff.
Yeah, they got some good stuff.
Amazon I would trust more than Netflix, that's for damn sure.
At this point, yeah, I would too.
Because Netflix is just I think they're starting to get in over their head, and it's starting to affect their content in which they're producing.
I just think they got their hands in too many cookie jars at the same fucking time.
Yeah.
And now they're like, oh fuck,
bit off a bigger bite than they can chew. Mm-hmm. What other things can we use for basically saying stop doing so goddamn much?
I think your heart's in the right place. Stop it. Focus.
Yeah, just pick and choose. Like, I mean, you guys have time. Like, it's not like movies are gonna be stopping within the next 10 years.
No.
And you got to be like, oh, we got to pump it out as much as we can.
Get all the movies.
What happened?
I don't know. You tell me, bro.
So, yeah.
Jesus.
My bad.
My bad.
So, yeah, I feel like Netflix just needs to slow down. Same thing as Disney. Same thing as every fucking one. We need to slow down. Everyone's going too fast, and it's affecting too much.
Yeah, it's just nonstop. It's a barrage. But
plus, I would like to watch all these shows, and I can't do that if you guys are fucking pumping them out every 2 seconds.
There ain't enough time in the day.
Really, there isn't. You can't. There's no way you can watch every single show in the world. But other than that,
so staying on Christopher Judge, did you watch the Game Awards at all?
No.
So he had a super long acceptance speech when he won. What did I say? He won fucking best performance.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he officially has the longest speech in award show history now, and it clocked in at 7 minutes and 59 seconds. So just a hair away from 8 minutes.
What the fuck? I thought they limit you on how long you can be up there.
Yeah, I thought that too. As he was talking, I kept waiting to hear the music kick on. They kicked it on in like the last 3 seconds of him talking. Like you heard start playing, but then he was already done.
So is that whatever? Like, they allow 8 minutes?
I guess
that's too long, man. I mean,
it was a long time.
I don't know. I don't want to sound like a dick because some people do deserve that type of shit. And they did work their ass off, and they do want to thank people appropriately, and
right.
Don't want to shortcut them and make them feel like they weren't any type of support. Yeah. So, but I mean, it's an award show, and we're trying to see other things going on. I don't know. I'm in between, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I remember thinking, I was like, this is fucking long speech, and he's not saying a whole lot noteworthy shit.
Fucking all right, it's been 2 minutes.
What's that Dave Chappelle bit? The fuck, wrap it up. It surpassing the previous longest speech, which was 5 minutes and 30 seconds, made by Greer Garson at the 1942 Oscars.
1942.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, maybe that's a problem if you just beat a record.
Greer Garson
for a dude who was
grave, that motherfucker.
Fucking middle of World War II and just over here
talking for 5 minutes.
Shut up. Wow.
Now, good for him. Let's see what else we got. So, you hear about all the shit with James Gunn in DC?
In regards to,
I think like damn near everybody's been cut. Superman.
Like Gal Gadot.
Yeah, as far as
Henry
I know,
Cavill.
we know he's gone.
I know Ezra Miller is.
He's gone.
Oh, I remember the news I had, so I'm because it does have something to do with DC, but
okay. Yeah, he's like cutting. It seems like everybody's getting cut, and I remember I read something from like James Gunn and those guys where he basically was addressing like people getting upset and all that, and they basically said like, yeah, I don't give a shit about all that.
That's a bad move.
I don't think that's not what you were looking for.
Because Warner Bros. Did that.
Yeah.
They said we don't care what you think, and it's like your fucking franchise is falling apart. Your movie shit is ass. Why the fuck are you not listening to your fans?
When you keep going out shit like this will work, and the fan go, nope.
Yeah.
One more time. Let me DC.
They haven't established anything.
DC, do you know what the definition of insanity is? Because you're fucking insane.
They haven't established anything, and it's kind of annoying that they're trying all these like new ways of going about it, but do that afterwards. At least with Marvel, even though they're fucking up now, at least with Marvel, they have established something, and they have a foothold, and they have a fan base. DC hasn't established shit. Their Justice League film flopped, and now you have all the issues with Ezra Miller, and now Jason Momoa is not gonna fucking come back as Aquaman.
Yeah, he's out. Yeah,
and
after the next movie, I guess.
Yeah, after that comes out, but I think it's done filming. I think it's done filming. It's in post production.
So did he say why he's not coming back?
I think it's because of the James Gunn. It has to be.
Because he's just all the people we like, just gone.
Yeah.
That's why, it's funny.
I'm not gonna say Gal Gadot is the perfect Wonder Woman, but me and my boss had a hard time figuring out who could be a better Wonder Woman in regards to just all around look. Tall, dark hair.
She had the look.
More exotic features.
Yeah, I was just gonna say too. I don't know if she's the best pick. I couldn't tell you who is though, for sure. Yeah.
She's just, and I'm not trying to body shame. I'm just saying Wonder Woman is a beast of
She's a fucking unit.
She is.
There's a reason why we call tall, jacked women Amazonians.
Yeah. It's because they are tall and jacked. And I know she worked hard. She worked out a lot for the role. She tried to get some pump, and she did.
That first movie, she was pregnant for damn near the whole thing, right? That's why they had her. That's why they had her in black.
Oh, that's right.
That's why they had her in that black thing for almost half the movie or something.
Was it Wonder Woman, or I thought it was during Justice League?
It was Wonder Woman.
Interesting.
That's why for a big part of the movie she had that big black cloak kind of thing on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She didn't put on any weight after pregnancy. Some people are just so damn lucky.
Yeah, right. I mean, when you have these 5-star fucking trainers, just too easy.
Well, those 5-star trainers didn't really get her bulked up, and
well, some body types just don't take to it.
Yeah,
I mean,
that is actually very true. We had our friend Tyler.
Yeah, no, that dude's strong as hell, but
he's strong as hell, but his body just doesn't allow him to grow bigger.
I remember we were talking about that. I was surprised, me and him were wrestling around, and he fucking choked the shit out of me. I was like, bro, how you do that? You strong little fuck. Holy shit.
So yeah, DC's just
so it's funny. We were talking about it last week or the week before. We were like, James Gunn, hey, maybe they got some hope. So I was like, it's funny. He's like, James Gunn seemed like a godsend, but it slowly seems to be revealing itself to be a curse.
It's looking like Satan was. It was a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
We thought we were, on to bigger and brighter things, but seems we might be down in the dumps once again.
Now there's talk of Elliot Page being the new Flash.
Oh, jeez. All right. I guess.
I'm going to say no.
I haven't seen him in anything since
The Change.
Well, he was in Umbrella Academy Season 3, which I have not watched yet either.
Oh, the
Netflix
series?
superhero-ish kind of. Yeah, I watched the first 2 seasons. It was good. It was a good show. I just haven't got around to the third because, like we said, there's so fucking much.
I haven't seen him in anything, and
yeah,
I don't care. That's not the Flash. Same thing with Ezra Miller.
Yeah,
I looked at Ezra Miller and I went, no.
That's how I felt about him too. I was like, nah, I don't like Ezra Miller as the Flash.
It's just
get the fucking what's his name?
Grant Gustin.
I was like, get that fucking guy.
Dude,
he's the guy.
I watched I didn't watch it wasn't a video. It was an Instagram post, just a picture of Elliot Page and then split and then has the Flash and Elliot Page next Flash, blah blah blah. And I read in the comics and everyone was like, get Grant Gustin.
They've been talking about that for years. Since before Ezra Miller, they were like, why don't you just get it? He's right there.
Exactly.
He probably will cost you less money.
He would cost you less money. It would get him like exposure because he's not a bad actor.
No,
I actually thoroughly enjoyed his acting.
I ended up liking Flash more than Arrow.
Yeah. You have failed this.
Plus, like, I mean, I stopped watching all those shows because, like, eventually they got so corny for me.
Well, they got corny, and then they started tying in Batwoman and Supergirl, and now you had to watch those in order to catch up on certain things because they did those crossover episodes. You're just like,
and you got to watch like certain order. Like, oh, you got to watch episode whatever of the Flash before this episode of Arrow, and then DC whatever.
And Tomorrow's Legends.
Legends of Tomorrow.
That's or Legends of Tomorrow. That one, yeah. Fuck.
It's too much. It's too much. I can't do it.
It's cool if you do the crossover stuff, but those have to be like one shots. It can't be. It can't tie into another storyline that's like, wait, what, huh?
Cannot compute. Cannot follow.
Can you imagine
instructions unclear?
I mean, it's not even. Can you imagine? I did do that. I was trying to catch up on the Flash. All of a sudden, a crossover episode happens, and then the next episode has something to do with what happened in the crossover.
Right.
And I was like, I don't fucking watch Batwoman. What the fuck?
Right. They're like, well, that's too bad.
Well, that's too bad. Go fucking watch it.
Go watch it, or else you fucking miss out on everything because you suck.
And then I did, and I was like, this is too much work. I don't want this.
Too hard. I don't want to do it.
Yeah, Grant Gustin
that's the guy.
The Flash I want.
That's the guy. Yeah.
If it wasn't him, for any like A-listers in Hollywood, I don't know.
I don't know. No Again, like I don't know who I'd pick either, but Ezra Miller, he ain't it.
No.
Neither
is Elliot Page.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like we said, I haven't seen him in anything since he's made his full transition and done all that. I haven't seen him in anything since then, so I guess judgment's still kind of out. But personally for me, I'm like, I'm not feeling it.
Acting is acting, and also looks do play into it. Too short. Like Elliot Page is what, 5'2"?
Pretty tiny. I don't know about
small,
height, but yeah, tiny. Yeah.
And it's just no. I can't see his acting style being tied to the Flash at all.
Yeah, it some of these casting choices just makes you go like, huh?
Like, where was the casting agent like thinking?
Yeah, like what? Like, do you know? Like, it just shows like this motherfucker doesn't even know what he's doing either. Like, cast this character, and they show you a picture, and he's like, all right.
Yeah, right. It's not. They don't even do auditions anymore. They're just like, this one.
Find somebody to play this guy. Okay.
Who's
that? I don't know.
Hey, Elliot. Yeah, I got a role for you.
You want a job? Okay. Sweet.
Like and it's like they didn't even think about it. They were just watching TV at one point and then saw Elliot Page get pull up and they go, got it. Yeah, just first person. Like, you don't watch the first person they pull up is Charlie Day. They go, that's the next Flash. I'm gonna for Aquaman first person pops up, Jack Black.
Yes.
Got it.
Hey, Jackie.
And I love Jack Black, but fuck no. Hell
but
no.
If I saw him cast as Aquaman, I'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What are you fucking doing? But then on the other side, you see, like, in the Mario movie that's coming out, they're like, Jack Black is Bowser. I'm like, yes.
I enjoy it. Yeah, no, that's cool.
Perfect.
Chris Pratt as Mario.
Don't think so.
Is he going to talk like Mario? What is this place?
Oh, shit. Yeah, we saw that. But then in the later trailer, we see, like, Mario Kart. Like, they're on Rainbow Road.
Oh, yeah?
And he, like, did, like, the little jump.
Wahoo!
Yeah, he did the wahoo! And I was like, that wasn't too bad.
Okay.
That wasn't too bad.
Yo, if they tie it in, I'll be okay with it. Yeah, like, if they tie in his little catchphrases like, woohoo, or I am Mario, that kind of stuff, I'll be okay with it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to, because I honestly think if I were to hear Mario talking all the fucking time in that accent, I'd be a little fucking annoyed.
Yeah, like I brought it before, like, just get Charles Martinet, the voice actor for all the games, to do it. But I was like, yeah, but if we heard, because Mario doesn't really talk.
No.
He just exclaims.
Yeah.
So like, if you hear him like actually try to talk, that might be kind of, one, annoying and kind of like hard to pull off.
And it's not even an accent thing. It's just because the accent is so over exaggerated, it would become annoying.
It would be grating eventually. Like, shut the fuck
It would be like if you're doing a Chinese accent, but you're going way overboard with it to where it's like, okay, that's offensive as
Okay.
fuck.
Oh, whoa.
Right?
Yeah.
But you're not doing a subtle thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, DC, man, we'll see. And then one thing I learned about today, last thing, there was a new Witcher show that just came out on Christmas. The Witcher Blood Origin.
Yep.
Set like 1,000 years before The Witcher, and I've heard it's not getting very good reviews. I've heard it's kind of garbage, and the fact that I didn't even know it came out already kind of tells me all I need to know.
Yeah.
That I just found out it came out. I'm like, oh.
I think I saw that trailer. I saw a trailer of it 2 days ago, and I was like, "Oh, interesting." Haven't really watched it just yet, so
I don't even know what platform it's on.
It's Netflix.
Oh, duh.
I think, or HBO Max.
That'd be weird if like Netflix had The Witcher and then HBO also has The Witcher.
Netflix doesn't own the rights,
Yeah,
so they can do it.
Be weird though, but I don't know. I don't know.
I still am gonna form my own opinion for that one, but
Well, let me know.
it's gonna take some time
They
because
do
I'm still catching up on certain anime.
Which one?
Squeeze me.
Haven't heard of that one.
Just like inhale burp. Chainsaw Man.
Ah, okay. I know that one. That looks like something.
It's fun. It's funny as fuck.
Yeah.
Especially his reasonings for doing the stuff that he's doing. But I do enjoy the animation. The animation's similar to, or not similar to, the actual animator that did Attack on Titan animation.
Okay.
Is doing the Chainsaw Man animation.
That's
so
good.
It's very, very gritty looking.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it. First episode, I want you to watch it. It was like, what the fuck? Just like the first, it happens in the first 10 minutes. And it kind of gets you sitting there thinking like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, just catching up on that. And then One Piece. And then there's another one. There's another one that my cousin had recommended to me that I gotta check out too.
I just been plowing through The Witcher 3 still. Such a big game, dude. Fuck.
I will not be playing.
And then I got both DLCs to do again. Fuck.
New DLCs or
No,
just...
both the old DLCs.
Oh, gotcha.
Hearts of Stone and the second one, Blood of Wine, which is super good.
Gotcha.
Like Blood of Wine was basically Witcher 3.5. They added like a whole new continent for you to go to, Tucson or whatever.
Yeah.
Super cool. Anyway, so that's it for news, I think. Unless you had anything else.
No, that's just the Elliot Page thing.
Yeah.
Popped up when you.
I did not know that,
GC.
so you got me on that one. That's.
I like being able to contribute. So the topic for this week, we got New Year's coming up, obviously. When we
Coming
got
in
to
hot.
Christmas, always.
Yeah.
And we wanted to talk about New Year's and how it generally became a thing
Yep. How
amongst cultures or how different cultures may have celebrated a type of New Year for them. Because I know that back in the past, not a lot of cultures celebrated it on the 1st of January.
Yeah, it was because all different cultures' calendars were all different.
They all went by seasons. They went by the equinoxes majority of the time.
Yep.
So did you want to start off or
you go first.
me go first?
Yeah.
Okay.
What you got? Show me what you got.
So one of the things I wanted to talk about is that there have been celebrations of New Year's, quote unquote, not necessarily talking about the 1st of January, but just the celebration of New Year's. There's been historical findings that it's been celebrated for at least 4,000 years. And I was very surprised. I did not know that they would be celebrating for that long.
Yeah.
A whole thing of, but then again, I think it may fall into like, when did astronomy become a thing?
Mm. Yeah.
When did they start studying?
When did they start keeping track of where shit was at?
Yeah. So, that was a very interesting thing to think about. And then, one thing that I did not know, or maybe forgot in regards to like history, was that Romulus, the founder of Rome, they're originally starting off with 10 months, 304 days for a year a calendar.
Damn, their year was way shorter.
Yeah, and that was sometime in 1400s, and I definitely was curious on how we eventually moved forward from that, because obviously now we have 12 months.
Yeah.
And they
365.
had found out through astronomers and stuff that it was off. It was throwing off everything that we knew, like seasons wise. And so eventually they added some dude Numa Pompilius or Pompilius.
Pompilius, those fucking Roman names.
Yeah. Such a mouthful. Yeah. But he ended up adding Januarius and Februarius.
Oh.
So he added the 2 more months after that. So I'll get into.
That'd be kind of interesting to know where those names came from.
The
Januarius and Februarius.
They're gods. Like Julius Caesar came up with the Julian calendar, which is the closest thing that we have to what the calendar that we follow currently is, which is the Gregorian calendar.
Okay, I knew that part. Gregorian part. I heard that before.
Yeah. So Julius actually discussed with the mathematicians and the astronomers to figure out how they could accurately come up with a calendar. And that's basically, that's how they came up with. And I think the Julian calendar the original Julian calendar did not come up with the whole idea of leap year.
Oh, who did that?
Pope Gregory the 13th.
Fucking Greg.
Pope Gregory the 13th.
Jeez.
13 people were named. That's what blew my mind.
You tell me 12 other motherfuckers were called Greg. And they all were silly ass.
It's so funny to me when people are, the 3rd and 4th. I'm like, okay, I get it. Tradition is typically why they would do that, but I don't want, I was bullied when I was growing up for my name, unfortunately, and I don't want my kid to go through that.
No.
So,
give your kid a solid name.
Gregory.
Name him some weird shit. Constance or something. That's an old name, but that's all I can think of.
Gregory, he eventually started adding up. He did with the mathematicians as well. And they figured out that if they add 1 day every 4 years, that it'll keep our calendar in alignment and it wouldn't throw it off. Yeah, it is a weird thing. I was like trying to understand the math behind it, and obviously it has something to do with certain calculations that they were doing that we have no fucking idea about.
They were writing that shit on a stone tablet. No, I'm just kidding.
And he also established January 1st as the beginning of the new year because of their god Janus, who is the god of beginnings.
I was gonna say Janus when he said January. I was like, I wonder if it's like Janus.
Yeah.
Oh, smart.
Yeah, there you go. just gotta connect the dots.
Sometimes you just gotta throw it out there.
I can leave the next fact for later, though.
Next one for later?
Yeah.
All right. Well, fuck it. Let's see.
Yeah, we'll switch over to Matt's findings of certain New Year things.
Should we go with our bigger one or one of the smaller ones?
We could go with a smaller one.
Smaller one?
And then we'll go bigger after my next one.
All right, so in ancient Egypt, there was a shitload of festivals. There was one called the Renpet.
Renpet? Yeah, okay.
Renpet, you heard of that? So this was, pretty much all of ancient Egyptian culture was pretty closely tied to the Nile. That was like, that was like the centerpiece of their culture. Cause
isn't that where pretty much all civilizations for them were kind of living by, because that was like their main water source?
Yeah, just like Native American tribes, like following with the buffalo,
right?
Just like, well, they're leaving, so are we. that's our lifeline.
All right, pack it up.
So what was it? Pretty clear in Nairobi. It appears that their new year corresponded with the annual yearly flood, and Nile would just start fucking flooding. So they're like, all right, it's a new one.
That fucking sucks. Like, how are we gonna tell what's the new year?
That.
Wow, the Nile's pretty fucking full.
And then it does it the next year, and they're like,
And then the next year after that, you know what?
I think we got it. I think that's it. I think we got it. So let's see. According to the Roman writer Censorinus. Yep.
He had 3 names?
Yeah. The Egyptian New Year was predicted when Sirius, the North Star, right? First became visible after a 70-day absence, better known as a heliacal rising. This phenomenon typically occurred in mid-July, just before the annual flooding of the Nile River, which helped ensure that the farmlands remained fertile. Yeah, so it was pretty much like a lot of these like old cultures were like based around harvest.
Right.
Shit like that. So like especially in the Nile when it's like flooding and they're all right, now it's time to farm. Just fucking here we go.
So it's interesting that means that they celebrated the New Year in July, or like at least sometime in the summer.
I think that is somewhere in here. Let me see.
Because they said just before the Nile floods in July.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
Did I read that?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Occurred mid-July. Just.
This is why California's 50th in literature.
What? So yeah, the Wapet Renpet, which means opening of the year, it was seen as a time of rebirth and rejuvenation, was honored with feasts and special religious rites, not totally unlike today, I suppose.
Yeah.
So yeah, see right in there, not unlike many people today. The Egyptians also may have used this as an excuse for getting a bit tipsy. Naturally.
Hey.
Naturally. The more things change, the more they stay the same.
Yeah, that's true.
So let's see. Recent discoveries of the Temple of Mut, M-U-T, Mut, show that during the reign of Hatshepsut, the first month of the year played host to a festival of drunkenness, which, sounds like New Year's.
Sounds like their
like
version of Oktoberfest.
This massive party was tied to the myth of Sekhmet. Have you heard of Sekhmet?
No.
Sekhmet was
a goddess?
Yeah, Ra sent Sekhmet when he thought he was slighted by some other peasants or something, and he set Sekhmet on them like a panther goddess or something.
Oh, okay.
Something along those lines to just fucking kill him. And she went a little too hard in the paint. So she was like, so eventually Ra was like, okay, I think I may have overreacted. And he had to rein her back in. So she eventually becomes tricked her into so Ra eventually she's just killing. There's blood everywhere. He finally is like, I gotta stop her. So he like tricks her with like this like super like I don't know drugged wine or something to look like blood, and she's like, oh fucking sweet, starts drinking it and just fucking passes out. And I think it is Hathor that then basically she's like reborn as like a new god, and now she's not this crazy vengeful panther. She's like now she's all about love and life and all that shit. So, yeah, Ra was like, that does it! And then he did it, and then was like, fuck, she's going crazy. Holy shit.
God damn.
So, yeah, in honor of mankind's salvation, the Egyptians would celebrate with music, sex, revelry, and perhaps, most important of all, copious amounts of beer.
I don't know why I thought you were going to say cocaine.
Copious amounts of coke. Just hookers and blow in ancient Egypt.
I wouldn't be surprised, like the fucking pharaohs over there. I bet you they were big ass sluts.
Oh, dude! I mean, what is it they say about prostitution? It's the oldest profession in history.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
makes sense.
Sex sells.
Yeah, always.
OnlyFans.
What would the ancient Egyptian of OnlyFans be?
What would it?
Yeah, only. I'm trying to think of like an Egypt pun.
Only pharaohs, because those are the motherfuckers that could only fucking
only pharaohs because you're a peasant. Get out of here. Get out of here.
You broke bitch.
That is one thing I learned about ancient Egypt, though. They threw down. Beer was a big thing.
Really?
In ancient Egypt, yeah. Yeah. I imagine it's probably like if we were to have like some ancient Egyptian beer, the percentage might be like fucking super low, probably, but.
Maybe. Or maybe it was like super high.
Or it was super high. But also you think about like way back in the day, like so many people drank, whiskey, beer, whatever back then because you couldn't drink fucking water. Because most of the water you're going to find is going to be contaminated in some way or another. And you can't transport it. It's going to get fucked up somehow. It's just super careful with it. So that's why so many people drink so much. And that's probably, part of why so many people
died at such a young age.
And had so many drinking problems because it's what you got to drink.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
We should do an episode about Egypt because honestly, I've been fascinated about Egypt stuff, but I know nothing about it.
Yeah.
Ancient Egypt.
Yeah.
Like nothing about the mythology. I mean, I know a little, like a very minuscule amount about the mythology because of the class that we took. But other than that, nothing. I don't really know too much. I know pharaohs. I know the pyramids were built by aliens. I know. Tell me why they were so cut perfect.
Yeah, I don't know. People are like, how'd they get them up there?
Lots of slaves.
Lots.
And they were like, oh, it's the working class. They didn't get fucking.
That's a pretty nice way of saying slaves.
Yeah, honestly.
The working class. Get the fuck out of here.
It's just the blue collar guys. Sure. Whatever you say.
It's just the no sandal guys, the barefoot guys. There. Go for it. Fuck, poor bastards. I think that Sekhmet does turn into Hathor, but that's not important. I wanted confirmation. But either way, she does transform. And yeah, that's all. Yeah, no, ancient Egypt, the mythology is crazy. I mean, fucking, I think I read somewhere there was like a few hundred different gods, like in the mythology.
A few hundred?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And we only know about, Okay.
I don't know why that noise came out, but it did. We only know about like Ra.
Yeah, Ra, Anubis, Osiris.
Yeah.
He's yeah, but there's so fucking many.
Osiris and Iris, or Isis.
Mm-hmm.
Isis is a god, right?
Mm-hmm. And Osiris he's the god of the underworld.
No, that's Anubis.
No, Anubis is like a guide.
Oh, he's a guide.
He's basically like when you get down
he's
to
bottom bitch.
He's like what was it?
Like the ferryman?
Yeah, I guess you could call it that. Sort of compare it to that because Osiris is like the god of the underworld, and Anubis is like when you get down to the underworld. Anubis is like, hey, this way, stand here,
come with me, please.
We'll weigh your heart. If it's heavier than a feather, fuck out of here.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. The scales.
Yep.
Scales of judgment.
The scales of judgment. And so that's Egypt. Fucking wild.
And did you know that there are actually calendars more accurate than the ones that we use?
Like what?
So there's actually a revised version of the Julian calendar, which came before the Gregorian calendar.
Julius Caesar one?
Yeah. And they actually, it's weird. They went about the math like crazy. We'll talk about the Julian calendar first, since that came before the Gregorian calendar, which is what we commonly use throughout the world now. They actually said that was off by 11 minutes per year, and that in 128 years, we'd be off by a day.
Who had the time to calculate that shit?
Dude, do you really believe in science?
Science.
Come on, like someone made that shit.
Someone made that shit. Somebody sat there and was on his papyrus scroll and was like, nah, fuck that.
This is why I like comic book shit, because I know it's fake for sure, and I can have fun with it.
Yeah.
This shit is like, oh yeah, it's real, but someone made it up.
Someone a long time ago made it up.
Yeah, when they didn't have technology or anything.
And they thought like that there was like entrances to the underworld on Earth and shit. So that tells you something.
So, but anyways, yeah. So we'd be off by 11 minutes per year.
Jeez, until 128 years, one day or something.
Yeah, 128 years. We'd be off by a day.
Did I say 128 days?
Yeah.
Fuck, I meant years.
Fuck. And then the Gregorian calendar, which is what we currently follow, established in 1582, it's off by 27 seconds per year. So that means that in about 3,236 years, it'd be off by a day, which is why it's not so much of a big deal. And that's why we also have the leap year, because it keeps us on track.
Make up for it. So it does serve a purpose.
But notice that the leap year only comes in every February. That actually still makes it inaccurate to a point. So the revised Julian calendar that they came up with, that one is even more accurate than the Gregorian calendar, saying that it would only be off by 2 seconds per year, which means that we would essentially be off by a day every 31,250 years.
Yeah, no big deal.
So,
Not my problem.
and the reason why that one's a little bit more accurate is because it would actually throw in the leap year when and where it needs to. It's not so much like, oh, it's just in February, we're gonna do it there. It's we're gonna put that leap year day somewhere when it needs to happen. So that even if it's like every 2 years, if it's once every 7 years, if it's however they need to do it in order to make it more accurate, that's how they'll do it.
They'll just plug it where they need it.
Yeah, specific for that year. So it is kind of interesting, and I'm wondering why we don't do that. But obviously, it would confuse hella people. Oh my God, there's 32 days in fucking October this year. Actually, I don't even know if October's a 30.
It's 31.
Yeah, it is 31.
Halloween's
cool.
31st, yeah.
Happy accident. But that actually blew my mind because I was like, what the fuck? There's more calendars that are more accurate. Then why the fuck aren't we using those?
Because we're American. We'll do it our way. God damn it.
But even the Gregorian calendar is still more off than the Mayan calendar. The Mayan calendar, which was pre-2000 BCE, right? Off by 13 seconds per year.
Jeez.
So that's 14 seconds better than the one that we're following? It's like, well, what the fuck? Why are we even using the Gregorian calendar? Mine's had it right the whole time.
Yeah, I don't know.
That don't make any fucking sense.
You sure don't. But here we are.
It was just interesting. There's a lot of other calendars that are more accurate. There's a Persian calendar as well, which is one day in every 110,000 years.
Jesus.
Still don't understand why we're not using that. And that was second millennium BCE.
Yeah, I'm saying these are all cultures that have been around long before.
Way before us, and somehow
we
we're
ever
still
came around.
way before us, and we're still somehow off. More off than them. And we have technology.
And we're still like, nah, we got it right. You got it wrong. Nah.
Typical.
Nah.
Typical.
Yeah. Yeah. Literally. Typical American.
I mean, technically that's a Roman thing, yeah? Gregorian? Or Italian? Italian. So that's pretty much all the notes that I had for it. Definitely was more focused on the New Year stuff, just because.
You know, that's interesting though about the calendars and how.
I didn't know there was more calendars.
Yeah, I mean, the only other one I could tell you was like the Mayan calendar.
Yeah.
That's the only other one I knew.
That's just because history class, like they talked about it. Also in 2012 when the world was supposed to end, just because the Mayan calendar wasn't finished.
Yeah, and in the year 2000, Y2K and all that shit.
Yeah,
keeps not happening. That's like I don't understand with like these doomsday cults, or like where they're like the world's going to end, so you must all come to me and give me all your money. And like when like the second or third time their predictions are wrong, people are still like, all right. Like I feel like after the first time he's wrong, you're like, but eventually you should go.
You know what?
I think he's full of shit. Give me my money back. Quit fucking my wife.
That is true. There's a lot of wife fucking in these cults, which is
a lot of those cults devolve into, all right, give me all your money. Give me all your wives. Jesus. And it's not a proper cult if I don't take a child bride. So last one, let's try to go through this then. So the big one I got was how the Vikings celebrated the winter solstice. So festivities similar to the ones we have. A lot of our holiday traditions come from this shit.
I've actually read up that a lot of things in general come from Scandinavia.
Yeah, the word thing, that's a Viking word.
Like THING?
Thing, yeah.
Really?
And a thing wasn't like a thing.
Like an item or object.
It was like a council. Or called the all thing. The all thing.
Let's get the thing together.
Yeah. Like I'm watching.
That's actually hella funny.
Like they're even talking about like on Vikings. I remember in one of the last episodes, Bjorn, they have the thing where all the people are there and he's talking to the people and he's like, this is your thing. Tell me, and it's like, it's kind of silly.
It's silly because of our understanding of the word now.
Yeah.
But for them, obviously,
it means like thing.
Yeah.
Not a council of people.
Yeah.
But so let's see. They had their own version of Halloween, which I think we knew about that, right? As well as Midsummer, which they made a movie about that Midsummer or whatever. So every December, the Vikings would celebrate the midwinter solstice, starting on the longest night of the year, these celebrations were part of Yule, or Yule, which was the name given to the Norse version of Christmas. I guess you could compare it to Christmas. Long before Christians ever influenced it.
Which Christians did.
They sure did.
They
Hence,
definitely...
Christ Mass.
Christ Mass.
It's in the fucking name. So let's see. The term winter solstice refers to a day or time marking the onset of winter. It's the shortest day of the year, usually taking place on the 22nd of December in the northern hemisphere and on the 21st of June in the southern hemisphere. So the celebration of the winter solstice was a popular Viking tradition. Before we associate it with Christmas, the old Nordic tradition of winter solstice celebrated the return of the sun to the Nordic lands. When the sun reached its lowest point in the sky, this was a sign that daylight and warmth would soon be returning. Days start getting longer. Okay, see what's happening.
Gotcha.
While this is cause for celebration in any part of the world, it's particularly meaningful to Vikings and those living in the northern reaches of the world. After all, they go days without sun whatsoever at certain times of the year.
Yeah, it's almost like Alaska.
Yeah.
They're generally in the same plane.
Yeah. You remember that movie 30 Days a Night? Yeah, super good movie. Yeah, I remember that. And I remember that's a good fucking plan. If I was a vampire, I'd go fucking take over a town in Alaska. We got 30 days.
Just live anywhere up in that region along the globe.
Yeah.
And then when 30 Days a Night comes, you're like, woo, free game.
You're all fucked. I'm hungry.
Give me the dumpy.
Give me the dumpy. So the impending return of longer, sunnier days was considered to be a period of rebirth for the Vikings, who believed strongly in the circle of life.
Yes, they do. Vikings
referred to the celebration as, we already said, Yule, except it's spelled a little different here with some accents, which translates to mean turn, referencing the seasons.
Ah, yeah, makes sense.
So yeah, the term Yule gave way to the word Yule. Hence, there's like Christmas songs, the Yule log or all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
The Viking name for Christmas. What's more, some scholars believe the Vikings were partially responsible for the name of Christmas.
I did hear about that.
So yeah, it says they often use the term "drink Christmas" when referring to the mead and beverages they'd consume during the winter solstice celebrations. And how did they celebrate it? Kind of like everybody else, eating a lot, drinking a lot, yeah,
just hanging out. Did they do gift giving?
I think they did something like that. Let me see here. So
here's a gold skull.
Yeah. So the winter solstice
skull
feasts. The winter solstice feasts, games, and parties took place over a period of 12 days, which kind of becomes the inspiration of the 12 days of Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
All coming full circle.
Yep.
Yep.
I got it.
Unfortunately, the Vikings weren't particularly good at documenting their own history. I've talked about that before, I think, where I'm like...
Yeah, they were all word of mouth.
Yeah, their history and their mythology or religion were like written in the same book. So it's like, that's why it's hard to tell what's real and what's not, because they wrote all that shit down in the same place. Their history and their mythology were one and the same.
There's a few cultures that were like that too, that were just more word of mouth. I think Romanians were a part of that as well. They did that.
I know, and so many of those are just like gone. We'll never know. Nobody wrote it down. Much of what we know about their celebrations comes from other historical accounts and archaeological findings. So I'm guessing some monk somewhere writing, this is what we fucking did.
Yeah, like some travelers.
Yeah. And we all know they did a lot of animal sacrifices.
Oh, do we know?
Gotta appease the Allfather, Odin. Women created massive feasts for everyone to enjoy. Another well-known account of Viking winter solstice comes from Ibn Fadlan. I don't know who that is.
What'd you call me?
Whoa. So yeah, they slaughtered the animals, but they kept the meat. Some of the meat was dedicated to the gods, because gods got to eat too. And Odin's going to be pissed if you don't give him a good cut. Can't give him no fucking skirt steak, Fuck out of here, Odin.
Skirt steak's good, though.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. That's the only thing I could think of.
Only cut of meat.
Even like face meat or some bullshit.
Filet mignon.
What?
Leave him a filet mignon.
Oh, yeah. It's for you. Quit bitching. And don't wipe out our civilization, please. While other pieces were given out to the poor, this possibly has ties to the Christmas as a time of giving.
Okay.
So I imagine they're probably getting the, face meat, tongue and shit. There you go.
Yeah,
But,
right.
I mean, hey, you're fucking poor. Shit, whatever, I'll take it.
Right.
Better than eating dirt. What I've been doing. So the earliest mentions of Yule, which stemmed from the Viking winter solstice celebrations, came from a chronicler and historian known as Bede, Bede or Bede, from England.
Uh-huh.
So in 725 AD, that guy, Bed, whatever, described the holiday seasons of Vikings, Anglo-Saxons, Britons, and other Germanic groups as being very similar. According to him, all of these groups took a spiritual approach to celebrating the turn of the seasons. There were various types of meaningful feasts which took place during the Viking celebration, where certain meals took on different purposes. In many feasts, 3 bowls of food were introduced to each table. The first bowl was delivered in honor of Odin, the Allfather.
Mm-hmm.
A toast was then held for Lady Freya. Lady Freya, Frigg, where Vikings gave thanks for the year before and asked for continued growth and peace. Finally, the last bowl of the winter solstice feast would be brought out in memory of the dead. So, I guess the past and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And, those that made their way to Valhalla. We all know food was extremely important in their celebrations, much like today.
Yeah.
That's why we got Thanksgiving and all that bullshit, Food's always important for these holidays. There is some accounts that there was some human sacrifice happen sometimes.
Did they? I was say they weren't really too into human sacrificing, I thought.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how
accurate.
Yeah, accurate or proven it is, but they said there's some accounts that indicate the human sacrifices may have been something common among the pagans and Vikings of this time, although they haven't been totally substantiated.
I think that's speculation by some fucking English historian that was there, or I think Saxon historian at the time.
Yeah.
And
no, yeah, well, I mean, shit, like a lot of
they would see them slaughtering animals, man. Oh, these guys are barbarians.
Yeah.
They probably slaughtered people too.
Yeah, I mean, shit, like a lot of some of the mythology stories were written by English, like monks and shit. Mm-hmm. Like there's one like story in their mythology where I think Thor gets his hammer stolen. I forgot by what the giant's name was. And in order to get it back, they basically have Thor go and drag in a whole dress, and so in return for the hammer, this giant wants to marry Freya.
Yeah, that's right. And then he dressed up as Freya.
Yeah, so
went to the thing, and the giant's sitting there like,
she big.
You sure that's Freya?
She's pounding drinks, eating like a motherfucker.
Oh, she hasn't eaten for several days, so. Don't mind her.
Yeah, Loki's all like, "Oh, it's okay. She was so excited for days she hadn't eaten, she hadn't drank, so now here we are."
Wasn't it like he got upset about something and all of a sudden just went, "Fuck off, you!"
That's Thor. Yeah, Thor, just big angry man child. Like he did something, he's like, "That does it." That.
So just started beating the shit out of everyone there.
I read something a little off topic that kind of made me laugh. People were talking about Kratos and the God of War. They're like, "Oh, it doesn't seem like Kratos can pick up Thor's hammer because like when he throws it at him and it's flying through the sky, and Kratos is like, motherfucker, And they're like, yeah, in mythology, Thor's hammer, it wasn't a worthiness thing. It was a pure strength thing.
Obviously, you're a fucking idiot. You only based your mythology off of a fucking superhero film.
It was a strength thing. That's why in mythology, Thor, his house was in a place called the Plains of Strength. And he had his belt. I forgot what it was called. All that shit. But, I mean, Norse mythology, it was like, you want that guy's hammer? Go try to take it from him. Good luck.
Dare you.
The Viking Yule goat, for instance, was one of the most important parts of the winter solstice celebration, thanks to the connection between goats and Thor's goats. Forgot their actual names, but like Teeth Gnasher and Bone Grinder or some bullshit like that. Or the two fucking ones from Love and Thunder.
The ones that he can eat over and over again, and they'll just...
He slaughter them, cook them, and then he has to like bury their bones, and they're back.
Yeah. Unlimited supply.
I know, right? And it's like good meat.
Yeah.
And they're magic goats. It's extra good. They probably come seasoned already and everything.
Right.
So yeah, that the goat thing still carried over today. Many Scandinavian people still include goats in their decorations and all that, in place of the reindeer, which we have in UK and all that.
Right.
So many Vikings believed the last sheaf of grain collected from the harvest had magical, spiritual properties and was often saved for the Yule celebrations. And that is what they crafted crafted into that little goat
Yeah.
kind of figure. During the end of the winter period, many Viking men and women would travel into the woods to find a fire log to bring home. Once the right piece of wood was found, it was brought home and carved with the runes to symbolize fortune and protection.
Yep.
A piece of the Yule log was removed and saved for the next year, while the rest was burned throughout the duration of the celebration.
And that's when you get the Yuletime fire.
Yeah, Yuletide and all that shit. Yeah, but one thing I found out about the runes too, like that language is so fucking old. Like the Vikings we know as now, the runes were way before that.
Yeah.
Way before that. No Vikings we think of, like, I mean, I'm sure somebody knew, but like that shit is way fucking old. So that's crazy because people associate that with Vikings we know of. And you're like, yeah, you're early or late, I guess. They did also have a little tradition of dressing up as Thor, Old Man Odin.
Both of them, both Thor and Odin.
Did I say Thor?
You said
Thor, Old Man Odin. I got him confused. Yeah, they would dress up as Odin.
Oh, okay.
Dress up as Odin in his, whatever. Wizard hat, eye patch.
They throw an eye patch, and I can only imagine, like, what if Odin was as sensitive as guys nowadays, and just go, that's fucked up.
They're all dressing up, and he's like, I don't even look like that.
You fucking
That's it, Thor.
Go kick their ass.
He just
sick them,
get him.
and Thor would do it too. He'd be like,
what? Okay.
You think you could take the god of thunder?
You think you could take the god of thunder? But yeah, so it's kind of interesting to see. I mean, we knew a lot of shit comes from Viking traditions and history.
There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of things in general throughout the holiday season that does come from Scandinavian culture. It's actually, I think it's cool.
Yeah, super cool. I mean, like,
it shows you how much influence that realm has on most of what we know, and people don't even know that. Everyone thinks, oh, it came from England.
No.
Well,
No.
You got to go look back further. Okay, it came from ancient Rome. You're
wrong again.
You're getting closer. You're getting warmer, but a little bit more. So, it is, yeah, I definitely enjoy that stuff.
Yeah. It's just interesting to see, like, how, like, where shit came from. And, like, it's surprising to think about that. Yeah. Like, here we are, America, like, oh, it's Christmas. We got Christmas trees and all this bullshit. A lot of that shit came from way before us.
History is definitely one of the biggest things that we need to learn. Not necessarily for science purposes or anything, just for the stories. Understand the world that has been built and shit, like, where it came from.
We've talked about it where we're like, oh, I feel like we retell some of the same stories. And I told you, I was like, yeah, well, if we stop telling them, they'll die.
They'll get forgotten.
They'll die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in this podcast, you'll definitely hear that too. So.
Oh yeah. I'm sure you've already heard a few times.
Yeah, unfortunately. So.
Oh well.
That brings us to a close for the last podcast of this year.
2022 later, ho.
So I actually just now thought about it. I was like, wow, last podcast of this
crazy.
year. Pretty cool.
See you next year. Fuck, sorry, I had to do it. Yeah, you're walking out of work. See you next year.
What the fuck did you say to me?
Fucking start beating ass.
Oldest fucking joke. That probably came from Vikings too.
See you next year.
So yeah, thanks once again for tuning into Big Effin Nerds.
Yeah.
We appreciate you guys hanging out with us once again.
Yeah, come back next week.
Go ahead, follow us on IG, TikTok, Spotify, and Anchor.fm, and hang out with us on YouTube for the video podcast. And don't forget to also subscribe because that is also helpful.
We need that.
And leave a like.
I needs it.
And give us comments.
Yeah.
We'd appreciate comments too. Just anything, really.
Anything.
Yeah. Tune in for next week, Matt had mentioned, because we will be talking about...
We're going to be covering some fucking cults.
Yeah. First episode of the new year will be cults.
You said that was a recommendation from someone we know, right?
It is.
Nice.
This will be our first recommended episode from a fan of ours.
Yeah, sure.
So we'll be talking about cults, basically just like what are cults, what are some of the more famous or infamous cults
More
that
likely,
we know.
yeah.
Yeah. Majority of cults are, yeah.
Usually, always bad. I'm gonna say always bad. I was gonna say pretty much, but like, nah, always.
Yeah, because
Almost always bad.
what is it? If they're overly like devoted to something, it's like, okay, yeah, that's a cult.
Yeah. Oh,
So.
I mean, shit. Like, a lot of these cult baselines are like, don't socialize with fucking anybody outside the cult. If you have family or friends that don't agree with that cult, fuck them. They're gone.
Yep.
Give me all your money. Give me a wife.
Give me your wife. Yeah, Matt mentioned cult stuff earlier, and I was like, hey, that's what we were talking about next week. So tune in for that. Also, leave us a review somewhere. I do believe that Spotify does have review stuff. Also, you can review us on YouTube. So just let us know how we're doing, how we can improve, and if you are actually enjoying our episodes, it'd be pretty cool to let us know.
Whatever you got.
Other than that, Matthew.
Yeah.
You got anything for the nerds out there? No.
Hey.
Fuck.
Hey, Matthias. Yeah. Get over here. You called?
Yes.
How can I help you?
What do you got for the nerds? What do you have to say for the nerds?
Oh, let's see.
Make it good, because this is the last time for the year.
Oh, I told you. I'm maternal. I ain't fucking leaving. Anyway. So yeah, all I could think of to say, was everybody, I hope you had a good Christmas. Hope you have a good New Year.
Good fortunes for all.
Yes, good fortune, good crops, good harvest, and later, taters.
All right. Got it. Deuces.